It's time to talk Great Bend High School basketball with head coach Kyle Kreigh on Sports Day.
Welcome back to the show. It is Thursday. We've been off for a while. Great Bend Panther basketball. Last time we were talking to Coach Kreigh, that was a pretty good week. Getting ready to take on, I think it was after we beat Emporia, so that was good. Kyle Kreigh back in studio, head coach of the Great Bend Panthers. Happy New Year, Coach.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having us in here. Yeah, I think the last time you had us in here, it was Caden and I, and it was about -20. So.
Yeah, okay, it's much better today. You brought along a youngster today, Ian Premer. Welcome in, Ian. Good to see you. Okay, what have you been doing since that Emporia game?
I mean, we did get a little bit of a break, so I think we got 5 or 6 days off for Christmas and the holidays. So, but we've been back at it. We've had the alumni come in a couple times and scrimmage us, and it's been competitive. I've talked to a lot of people about that last year. We don't necessarily keep score, but they ran us out of the gym last year, and this year it seemed a little bit more even. And we maybe even had the advantage this year. So I think we're growing as a program, and it's good to see those guys that still care about Great Bend basketball and can talk to these guys about some of the stuff they went through.
Who are some of the guys that were back?
I mean, a lot of guys. I mean, it seems like guys that are maybe like in the early 20s.
Okay, all right. So
Schramer, Bryce Brown. You could probably help me with some of the names.
Stephen.
Okay.
Crosby.
Really? So
we had an efforts guy. We had an efforts guy. I think he graduated in '98. So he was talking about how Coach Randy Beck was maybe his freshman coach back in '97, '98. So we had a wide range, but it seems like a lot of guys that have graduated in probably the past 5 or 6 years.
Well, that's really. Do you go ahead and play on the big court, or do they make you go down to the rec and play on the short court?
Well, we play on the short court in the pack. So
okay, all right. So that helps.
That's not regulation. So that was our week in the pack. So. We played them in the pack, and we try to let all the guys play against them. But normally on that second day we had the main court with kind of our upper guys, our varsity JV guys, and then all the court was kind of JV freshmen. And we get after it for about an hour and a half.
Ian Premer with us here on the show, freshman forward / wingman guard.
1 through 5.
Yeah, okay,
He can do it all.
1 through. Welcome to the program today. So, what was it like for you going against all these old guys out there?
Well, I didn't really think about them as old guys because I talked to some of them and I knew some of them before.
Okay.
So,
how'd it go?
It went good. We definitely won more than we lost, which was good.
What did you learn anything from the crafty veterans?
Schramer's super fast and he uses his body really good, so I learned some moves from him, which was cool.
And I'm glad it went well for you. And Kyle, just kind of you came back. A lot of teams played Tuesday night, not really in the WAC at all, but do you like kind of having a little bit extra time to have this Friday game?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people about that. I think it's good to maybe have a little bit more time to prepare. Plus, it gives me a chance to watch Dodge. So that was I've watched Dodge, bits and pieces so far, but I've definitely watched more of Garden and Hayes at this point. So we've got to see Dodge play on Tuesday, and then it also lets me kind of watch. We got a cousin that plays for Hoisington, so we got to watch her play, and so gives us some time to prepare for Garden, and that's the good thing. I think we played Garden right after the break last year, so I think in the past 2 years I probably watched Garden play like 15 to 20 times, so I think we'll be ready to roll.
Now, basketball's a unique beast because you go and then you take a break, and then there's plenty. You make New Year's resolutions. I guess if you had Great Bend Panther New Year's resolutions, what would they be?
I mean, I think you just got to take it one game at a time, and I think we just got to be competitive in the WAC. We're going to play all these 4 teams twice, so that's 8 of our our remaining 14 games. So just getting ready for some of those WAC opponents, and I know Hayes is going to be super competitive. They're about 500 right now, so not that we're looking past Garden, but started kind of getting ready for Hayes because that's Tuesday and that's a pretty quick turnaround. And then, that next week is Hutch. So I think we just look at these, beating Garden and then kind of looking at Hayes and Hutch. That's kind of our priority right now is trying to be competitive and getting 3 wins and then put ourselves in position so we can have a good seed when we head to the El Dorado tournament.
It's kind of cool. I mean, it's a 5-team league, but I like it because getting some leagues, the winning the league title doesn't mean anything. And when you have 8 league games, everyone's huge.
Yeah, for sure. And you get a home and away, so nobody really has an advantage or a disadvantage. And these guys, it's probably more meaningful to these guys because they've been playing against them since they were probably second or third grade. And, we don't want to lose in any of those WAC schools. So, yeah, it is unique and kind of a cool way that our league is set up.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, we'll learn a lot about the league tomorrow, won't we? We've got Liberal going against Hayes and you guys going against Garden City. So we'll find out a lot.
Yeah, and I think Dodge maybe plays at Wichita Trinity.
Yep.
So, yeah. Yeah, we'll kind of see what we're made of and kind of see how far we've all progressed since last season or maybe the summer. I think we played Hayes 3 or 4 times, and I think we split with them each time. So I know our guys are ready to beat Hayes, but and they want to beat Garden too. Garden's 7-0, ranked number 8 or 9 in 6A. So we're going to try to prove people wrong and try to prove that they're not going to be undefeated anymore, and they're probably not one of the best teams in 6A.
Ian Premer, before I ask you anything else, I want to ask you about the Emporia game because it was a play that stood out more for me than anything else. You had a breakaway.
Mm-hmm.
Students were rising. The play-by-play guy was rising. Everyone wanted you to dunk that, but this was a huge play. Mm-hmm. Now, in all my years, I've seen many guys go in there and hit the back iron and it kicks away. And what were your thoughts then? Were you thinking about trying for the dunk, or what was going on?
I was initially going to dunk it, but my steps were off, and then I didn't want to risk it when we're down and we had momentum coming back, so I just laid it up.
I've seen seniors do that. I've seen guys in college do that. Their steps off, we're still going to try to ram it down. That was a heck of a play.
Thanks.
Yeah. How much fun was that Emporia game?
It was really fun. Coming back and shocking them when they were undefeated felt really good.
The 3-point stroke, you hit that one over there in front of the student section, and you didn't hesitate at all. It looks like you're feeling pretty comfortable right now. Ian, talk about maybe what you – I mean, it wasn't very long. It was about 3 weeks, where your game is from that first game at Junction City to where it was before you went to the break.
Yeah, I just kept progressing and kept getting more comfortable with the team, and then the more comfortable I get, the more shots I take, which feels good.
Is it going kind of the way you expected, better than expected, or tell me your expectations going into the year, Ian?
Probably better than expected. I expected to play, but I've been playing a lot, which is I really like, and just scoring. I never expected to score 22 points and a half this year, but
16 in the fourth quarter, according to Mike Corson, so that's not a bad period.
Yeah, not at all.
How fun is it to be part of a talented freshman class, not only all across the board, but you and Jake also get, key contributors as a freshman? How exciting is that?
It's really exciting, and we can build up on that. We have got a few good sophomores, too, and our 8th grade team is really good, too, so it'll be great to build on that in the following years.
What'd you guys lose, 7 or 8 games last year?
No.
How'd that go?
Well, we had a couple close games with Hayes. Abilene was kind of close, and Holcomb was close, but we pulled it out in the end, which was good.
Yeah, okay.
He's pretty humble. They were undefeated.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you ever,
I think the B team was 15-1, so, we got a good group of freshmen, outside of him and Jake, but, from top to bottom, we've got a really competitive group, and we kind of do some game-winning situations, or we started doing that a little bit more this week, and it's kind of cool to see how engaged and how competitive those guys are. So it's kind of like our top 10 to 12 guys. We're trying to win the game, and the freshmen and Coach Kuhlman and Coach Burney and Coach Wells, those guys aren't backing down by any means. So, and I'll even admit it here, they've probably won more possessions than we have. So it's a good group, and we're excited about the future and what we got.
How do you fit in with veterans, upperclassmen? Because you go in there and acting like you're the guy, that's not going to go over very well.
Well, I think I have an advantage because my sister's a junior, so I know most of them already, so I'm already friends with them from football, too, so I just build on it.
Has that made the transition a lot more easier for you?
Yeah, it has.
Okay. So you get to the break, and what do you think about over the holidays, besides taking a little bit of break, but the second half that's going to start tomorrow night?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're 3-3 now. We've had a couple close losses that I think we should have won, so we could easily be sitting 4-2 or 5-1. So I think just keep building on our game against Emporia, which will really help.
Okay, you said you're a 1 through 5 guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your role on this team? Is it what every Coach Kreigh needs? Or how many different positions can you play out there right now in the offense?
I can play both wings and both posts. I haven't been taking the ball up, but it just depends whoever's on the floor where I'm going to be.
Okay. You'll face some length tomorrow night. You got some tall guys inside. Talk about what you've seen on film and tape from Garden City.
Well, they're going to be good. They're strong, but their big guys can't shoot it great. So I think that'll help, but they're really good inside and strong.
Okay, Kyle, you've got Garden City coming in. They're 7-0, and it's kind of interesting. This is their fourth best start in school history.
Really?
Their fourth best start. In 2 of the other 3 seasons, their first loss was to Great Bend.
That's good news.
Yeah,
That's good to hear.
It would be good.
That's good to hear.
They've got a nice team, though, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. And they've got guys with experience and definitely guys we scouted last year. But, in the WC kid, just talking to the guys and the other coaches, it seems like he's been playing there for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, Patrick said he's a 6th-year senior.
Yeah, so he got a COVID year like the college kid. And then the Sidemates kid, he's a good shooter. I think he's averaging about 22 points and 6 boards. And then they've got another post guy, Underwood, he's averaging about 10 and 10. So those are kind of their guys. And then the other 2 starters are lefties, and they're lights-out shooters and pretty much have a green light to shoot any shot they want. But I will say I don't know how deep they are. I think we're a little bit deeper. But like Ian was saying, their post guys do a good job of sealing and getting position, setting screens for Steinmates, and they run a high-low offense that it'll be interesting to see how we work together and play some team defense to stop them.
Jake Steinmetz averaging 22 points a game through the first 7, and man, he hurt you last year, 7 of 14 in 2 games from 3.
Yeah, so he's a shooter, and we kind of came back, we bounced back, and fought back at Garden and got the win there, and then they came here and things didn't work out the way we would liked. But yeah, he's a shooter. He's they say he's 6'3", he's got a high release, and it's tough to defend him, and he's got some range. So we're going to have to get up and pressure him and make sure that we always know where he's at when he's on offense and we're on defense.
What kind of problems does that length give you? Give the Panthers, besides them being really tall?
Yeah, I think we got some length too. We just got to get up and pressure. I think Braylon's maybe not the tallest kid, but he's a good defender. I think Braylon can guard him. Sharman's got some strength, probably a little bit stronger, so he could maybe rough him up a little bit when he tries to drive and stuff like that. And Carter and Maddox and those guys are ultra competitive. So I think we'll be all right. We just got to make sure that we're like inside his jersey and don't give him any space.
Defensively, I've watched them do some different things. Is they really kind of set their hat on one thing, or they kind of mix it up a lot?
Well, I know I've Jim's done a good job of sharing some newspaper reports with me. Seems like they want to get up and pressure people, but you go look at their last game before break against.
They used a 1-3-1, didn't they?
Yeah, Wichita East. It seemed like a 1-3-1 or a 2-3. So I don't know if they just couldn't match up with the athletes that East had. But yeah, they do a variety of things. So we got to be prepared for everything, and we'll be ready.
Okay, Friday night home game. This ought to be pretty exciting. As Bill Self would say, the place should be jumping. Ian, just what are your thoughts here about 24 hours before a big game against Garden City?
I think we're ready as a team, and hope the stands are packed. It's our first home WAC game, so.
Okay, get those steps right if you get a breakaway, okay?
I'll try.
Okay.
Just for you.
Well, I know. I was coming down and said, I'm down the left side, and he lays it in. But I should have been more excited because that's a big basket. But
I think us three, I think we're all happy laid in, probably his dad. But outside of that, I think everybody else wanted the dunk. But I think us three in here, we definitely wanted him to finish it.
After I heard everyone go, ugh. They were all expecting it.
It was kind of weird. It really was. Your thoughts, Kyle, going into this, and here we go, man. It's season number 2. Season number 3 starts after tournament week, but season number 2 getting ready to get started. What are you thinking?
I'm pretty optimistic, and it seems like the guys are like our practices of like the energy levels been like through the roof. Our guys are hungry, and they're building confidence. So we've got to be ready. I think we've been focusing a lot on our defense and our transition offense, and it looks really good. I think we've definitely came a long ways since November 14th or 15th. So we got to get out and run in transition and play some defense. We'll be all right.
Ian, thanks for spending time with us today. Good luck tomorrow night. Thanks, Kyle. Well,
thank you.
Can't wait. Okay, Panthers in Garden City tomorrow night at the Panther Fieldhouse. Doubleheader coverage starts at 5:45 on B104.3 The Point. We'll take a break. More Sports Day coming up after.
And progressive therapy in Larned and Hayes.
Hello, this is Austin Alford. I'd like to introduce to you today one of the most popular pieces of equipment we have to train core strength, shoulder stability, core stability, and even to improve balance. Come check out the core sticks for yourself at Progressive Physical Therapy Center in Hayes.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
The biggest and best gun shows in Kansas are the RK Gun Shows, and they're coming this weekend to the Great Bend Event Center. This weekend, RK rolls into town with the best selection of guns, knives, hunting rifles, scopes, clips, shotguns, and accessories you've ever seen in one place. Bring your whole family, rain or shine. We have everything for the lovers of the right to bear arms. It's Saturday from 9 to 5 and Sunday from 9 to 3 at the Great Bend Event Center. RK Gun Shows, proud supporters of the Second Amendment.
Great Bend Appliance Furniture and Sleep Source, your Whirlpool dealer, is celebrating 24 years of free delivery and service after the sale. Here's Dale Pruder.
We try our best. We do have 2 service people. We try to take care of you after the sale.
And you continue to get new products in all the time.
We just keep after it. We have financing, 12 months, same as cash every day on $4.99 and above.
If you need it, they probably have it at Great Bend Appliance Furniture and Sleep Source, your Whirlpool dealer at 10th and Morton.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. That music is... Yes.
The Emporia State fight song. Okay. Loud and proud coming to you on this lovely Thursday afternoon.
Aaron Clark joining us here. Our KVGB football insight. I don't know what we're going to call you once we get past football season, but that's okay. You know, you're working your way into many different things right now. Man, I'm ready to go, man. Tomorrow night, this is going to be pretty good stuff. I think I have the good crowd out there at the Panther Field House and Garden City coming in here. A couple big games. Let's go with a whack, right?
I'm excited to get back into it. It's been a while since I've gotten to do a game, gotten to broadcast a game with you, and just great to get back out there and get into Field House and watch some Panther basketball. Hopefully get some wins over those Buffaloes.
Yeah, 5:45 tomorrow night on B104.3 The Point for the boys, or for the girls and boys doubleheader. We'll get going. Aaron, of course, part of the broadcast crew this year on KVGB. Okay, I think we're going to have a Chiefs game on Saturday. So I don't even know why I'm asking. We ought to talk about some other football things right now. Because, you know, the Chiefs game's going to end up, they're going to have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then the Raiders are going to score, and then the Chiefs will get it back, and they need to get a first down to run on the clock out, and hopefully they do. If they don't, then you got to hold your breath like they did last week. Why can't this team blow people out?
I think a big part of it is the run game, and we've seen it in the years past with the Chiefs' run game not necessarily being up to snuff with their pass game, but this year it feels worse to a degree, and I don't necessarily know why. I think it could come back to the Chiefs.
Isn't it commitment?
And it's commitment, and you just have to kind of have that identity.
By the play calls, right? Yeah.
You have to have that identity of being a run team and an aggressive team, and I think at this point, the Chiefs don't necessarily have that. Teams kind of think of them as a team that has to beat them with the pass, and when you have Patrick Mahomes back there, it makes it really easy to kind of rely on him, but to put games away, especially with this time of year that we're getting to, this cold weather, this late playoff atmosphere, being able to run the ball is incredibly important for clock management and being able to rest your guys. And I think that just the overall run game inefficiency could really be contributing to some of the Chiefs' late game woes.
I completely agree. And of course, you know, we're sitting in here in Great Bend, Kansas, talking about what's going to be a Hall of Fame coach and Andy Reid. But he's always done that. And Philadelphia always, with Donovan McNabb, they throw the football around all the time. But, man, you get late in that game, you should be able to line up and say, okay, you think we got Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, we could pass it, but we're gonna run the football and we're going to get a first down. Other teams can do it, it seems like.
And it's really perplexing because it doesn't make a lot of sense for the Chiefs, who do, like you said, have that.
I think they've got offensive linemen that can probably run block better than they can pass block.
Their interior of Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, and then Joe Tooney is remarkable. They may have one of the best interior offensive lines in the entire NFL.
Tackles are an issue.
Tackles aren't an issue, but we should see some marked... Orlando Brown this year, his run blocking has been kind of disappointing to me in a sense. His season overall has just been a little down from, I think, even what he expected coming into the year. But watching someone like that size not be able to set an edge over there on the left side, or he'd be able to get, like, he gets pushed back in these power and gap scheme runs, and you can't have penetration when you're trying to run the ball. And I think a big part of it, I like Isaiah Pacheco. I like watching him run. I like the way he runs. He runs angry, and I like watching him hit the hole. But I think that Andy Reid may just kind of need that kind of quick twitch, elusive back. Like in Philadelphia, he had LaShawn McCoy. And early in the Chiefs' tenure, we kind of saw that with Charkandrick West. I don't know if you remember that. Like, he kind of had that twitchiness, that, like, receiving back, and they're almost using Jerick McKinnon in that role, but I'm not sure if he quite has the explosiveness and suddenness in the run game to be a LaShawn McCoy type.
But you get at that time of the game, I don't want a dancing bear back there. I want a guy that's going to hit that hole, explode through it, not exactly run in. I mean, still with good vision that can make that cut.
You want someone who can put away a game.
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago, Marshawn Lynch was an excellent example of that. Just under 4 minutes on the clock with Marshawn Lynch. You know, you can hand him the ball 8 times. He's going to knock out 4.5 yards because he's just a monster falling forward.
I mean, I thought they were running the ball well against the Broncos, but then they just go and they got to do that. I mean, they use Scott Donovan talking about, Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for 5,000 yards in one season. Well, that's great, but he's also thrown some picks this year. Teams run the ball. I don't know.
I'm a big proponent of running the ball. I played offensive line, and so one of my big things is I like establishing the pass, like setting up the pass with the run. You get your run game going, you start mixing in some play action off of that, and I think that's a really great way to get the offense going. But I think Andy Reid likes to get out there and line up with his wide receivers, line up wide, and get creative with his concepts. And I think that does
spread teams out. Why can't you run against that?
And that's what really begs the question. It's your five, like your front five then versus their front five. And so far, the Chiefs are just getting outmanned there. And I don't have a good answer for it because they should, on paper, they should be able to run the ball against lighter boxes that you should get with Mahomes, but we just haven't seen it so far.
KBGB Football Insider. I thought you'd tell me behind the mind of yeah, and here we are. Isn't it great to be a Chief fan? I'm sitting there whining.
Well, and I was having a similar conversation.
You can't keep playing with snakes. The snake will eventually bite you. And if it's a poisonous snake, you will die. And the playoffs are coming up. And man.
And you have teams in the playoffs.
I don't feel good right now.
You have teams in the playoffs that the Chiefs are going to have to beat who can run the ball. Like Buffalo's run game and Cincinnati's run game have been looking really deadly this last part of the season.
I'm not worried about Buffalo's run game as much as I am Cincinnati's. I think.
I see it. Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine back there for the Cincinnati backfield.
Is I would rather have Mixon back there. Perine, man, can just bash and
that I really like Perine as like a spell guy. Like have Mixon be your starter, and then when you want that kind of change of pace, that kind of smash mouth that we've been talking about, you put Perine in there, and he's really good out of the backfield catching the ball too, which you don't always see that power guy be able to catch the ball with soft hands. But I really like the combination of Mixon and Perine.
Yeah, I don't want any part of Cincinnati.
They're scary, and when their offense is humming, it's hard to stop. I don't know if anyone can stop it. With Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins back there.
So surely they'll beat the Raiders. So we'll see. Quick. TCU, Georgia.
It's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be fun. I didn't expect TCU to get out to quite as hot of a start as they did against Michigan.
Michigan's trying to play
Michigan, they brought in that vaunted defense that got to play the Big Ten this season. They got to play the Big Ten West. You got Illinois and Iowa out there scoring like less than 14 points a game. And don't get me wrong, that Michigan defense had some talent, but I definitely think TCU came out and kind of surprised them. And I think that's going to be the same game plan against Georgia. If they don't get out to a fast start, it could be a long game against the Bulldogs for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, but that defensive, I think they'll be able to score some points on Georgia, and the defense, they can give us some big plays, but they also got a lot of TFLs in that game. So I think it'll be a lot better. I don't think they're going to beat Georgia, but I think
it'll be a good game because I don't think TCU is going to quit. Like kind of like you said, that they'll give up some plays, but TCU's head coach, Sonny
Dykes.
Sonny Dykes. Yeah, I was going to say Sonny Liston. That's the old boxer. I knew that was wrong.
That's one of our things, Hester, we'd say. Hey, we need to run. Thanks, Aaron. We'll see you at the Fieldhouse tomorrow night. Sports Day rolling on as Mike Corson on the prowl talking bowling with Great Bend Panther coach David Feldbauer. That's next.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
The need for nurses is constant. Barton Community College offers practical and registered nursing programs. The affordable and challenging coursework is taught by experienced instructors who care about you and have a passion for teaching in the field of nursing. Get hands-on training in the classroom, state-of-the-art simulation labs, and at clinical sites for this high-demand field. The priority application deadline is January 31st. Apply online at nursing.bartonccc.edu.
To be the king of the road, you have to fill with the king of diesels. We're talking about Cenex Premium Diesel. It comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn. Cenex Roadmaster XL even cleans up and prevents injector fouling to keep your trucks out of the shop and on the road. And typical number 2 diesel? That's always an option. The wrong option. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Horson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Horson, joined today by Great Bend High School bowling coach David Feldbauer. So we've done some wrestling and basketball, but now we are ready for bowling season. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
Pretty good. Starting the new year, we got to come in here with some energy and get through 2023 now.
Yes, we do.
Well, Coach, let's talk about some of the things you did last year. What did you do, and then how many kids do you have back?
Last year we did really well. Our girls team took third at regionals, went to state, and took third at state, and we did have an individual champion with Kaylin Wallmeyer bowling her highest series that we have for a girl at 752. Which was amazing. Aliyah Freiberger took 18th at state. She did really well helping the team. I do have quite a bit of the girls actually returning this year. I have senior Sahara Sheehaw, she's returning, and Emily Nelson, she is returning this year for our varsity team. And we did pick up a freshman with Zoe Mayberry, who is going to actually perform really well on varsity this year, I believe. On the boys' side, the boys struggled a little bit last year. They took third in the WAC, didn't make the cut at regionals to go to state, but Jalen Daniels did make the cut as an individual bowler and went to state and placed in the top 30. So that was good for the bowling team.
And I know watching some of the other bowlers who've come up, got them on Facebook, seems like a ton of bowling is going on in the off-season. What does a high school bowler do to get better during the off-season?
At Walnut Bowl, they do provide summer leagues. A lot of our kids actually do bowl all summer long. They do go into the weight room once in a while and work out a little bit just to get everything, staying in shape. Just throwing a 15-pound ball all day long does get pretty tiring. So.
And how big is repetition for something like bowling where, you're dealing with oil patterns and all that type of stuff, but how big is the actual repetition of getting maybe just a hook down?
It actually is huge. Repetition is the one thing we focus on every day in practice. I make the kids shoot at the 7-pin, shoot at the 10-pin every day for 15, 20 minutes, and then we also shoot at a target every day for 15, 20 minutes. Bowling all mainly is repetition, getting your body focused on throwing the ball correctly, hitting the same spot on the lane over and over and over so that you do get better. Your scores will get better. And so that's what we do in practice. It's just repetition every day.
Talking to Great Bend High School bowling coach David Feldbauer, Panthers head to North Rock Lanes in Wichita on Saturday. Finally saw that place for the first time. And it's a really nice big facility. How kind of fun to take the kids, maybe especially the ones who have never been there, to see a facility like that?
It actually is really fun. This first tournament we go to is all Baker games, so all the kids get to bowl. Everybody bowls 2 frames in each game, so it's not like people are sitting out all day. Everybody gets to bowl. It's a fun competition. It's just a good warm-up deal for all the kids just to meet the other 35 teams that are going to be there so that, you get to meet other kids, you get to have fun, interact with everybody. It's a great time. North Rock Lanes is a very big facility, so it's even better for those kids to get involved. and see, hey, we're walking into a huge facility, lots of people, lots of noise, lots of crowd noise that's going to be going on. So it's good for them.
And then just kind of finally here, we talked about what you guys did last year and mentioned some of the names. What are the expectations for both teams for 2023?
For my boys team, I have four returning seniors. I have a new senior who actually is performing really well, and I have a freshman that is performing extremely well. And I believe they should be able to win the WAC this year and do great. For my girls, they should be able to win the WAC, go to regionals, do really well, and make it to state. The boys will have a harder time at regionals and state, but I think they have a good chance this year. So I have real high expectations for both teams.
All right, Coach David Feldbauer, Great Bend High School bowling team. Glad to have you on board, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
More Sports Day after this.
When you need to get rid of the pain, you want the best. You need to see Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Barton County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. And after a year in business, Dr. Luke Kreigh has joined the practice. He is a physical therapist that also offers dry needling. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Inside the Fieldhouse, 2817 9th Street, Great Bend.
Let technology bring you closer this holiday season to loved ones near and far. With unlimited data as low as $25 a month, you can get the phone you want with the features you need from the best people. Next Tech Wireless. Keeping Kansans connected.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Tomorrow we're going to hit on high school basketball with the Friday night schedule and scores, as Connor Nickel will be joining us. That's always good stuff, and he'll bring it to you for a big night in the Western Athletic Conference. I don't really want to hit that as we'll kind of start finding out about league play there. I was looking ahead because I wanted to. Here's your other games tomorrow. Okay, you got Hayes at Liberal, Dodge City at Wichita Trinity, Hoisington at Beloit, Larned at Skyline. I told Buddy Tabler and Gary Wagner to go check out my picture down there. I'm sure they will. Maxville at Central Plains, Nest City at St. John, Fairfield at La Crosse, Kinsley at Cunningham, Otis Bison at Victoria. Rock Hills at Chase. Norwich is home to take on Stafford tomorrow night. Stafford on the road at Pawnee Heights at Spearville. You can see the entire schedule at greatbendpost.com. A week from tomorrow night, not doing anything, you might want to trip on down to Maxville. You know, the Maxville Mustangs against the Ellenwood Eagles. Big showdown here in January before tournament week. Mikey, we'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll talk to everyone else right here on Sports Day on KVGB. We are the talk of the town.